morning, good morning. Before we get into today's video, I gotta go get a bacon, egg, and cheese. I haven't had anything to eat this morning, and I need something to eat before I head out, so let's go do that first.
Just pounded out a bacon, egg, and cheese real quick. All right, let's make our way to the shoot location. All right, so today's video is going to be a bit more serious of a topic than before. It's kind of how quitting the tech industry was kind of a life-saving thing for me. Back in 2019, I left college after 3 years going for computer engineering, and I was looking for a job for something that I had some sort of interest in or just related to my major. And yeah, that led me to a tech company based locally over here, and it wasn't necessarily exactly what I was looking for, but it was something along the career path that I'd given myself before. And yeah, I figured it'd be just a good place to hop off. The only caveat with that job being it was between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. So it was a 12-hour shift, which I didn't mind at the beginning because they offered me a differential pay. So I was willing to sacrifice the hours for a little bump in pay. Fast forward a year or two after that, and that job was really starting to take a toll on me, both mentally and physically. I lost a lot of weight over that, just because on my off days, I wouldn't get hungry until, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, because that's when I would usually have my dinner or my lunch. I would still have these almost vampire-like sleep patterns on my day off, where I'd wake up at 4 in the afternoon and go to sleep at 5 in the morning, because it would be too much of a toll on my body to change that sleep schedule up. So after about 2 years of putting up with it, I called it, said that was enough, and I left. And for that brief period of time, it was nice. I realized that doing the overnights was not it for me. And I thought, the job was okay, but the overnights was not where it was at. And then after maybe 2 months of me being gone, the company reached back out to me and said, hey, you're a valuable employee to us. We want to see you come back. Would you be willing to come back under the pretense of putting you on days? And I accepted. Now, I thought it was going to be all sunshines and rainbows because, it's the same job, but I'm on days. It's going to be nicer. It's going to be better. But what I didn't realize is most of the tech business jargon happens during the days. And I learned that quickly, as there was a lot of different cliques people would form just based off what region you came from. Nothing against any of these groups of people. It's just they all collected together based off of where they were from and really despised each other based off of that. And you just felt like a link in the chain. I was like one of maybe 5,000 to 10,000 employees on the site. And the one time I did get a pay bump was for an additional 13 cents an hour. After putting in now, it would have been 3 years at the company, 13 cents. And I would just be sitting at the desk all day, running equations, troubleshooting machines, and I realized to myself then, hey, this just really isn't it for me. But I needed to pay the bills. That was the other thing. I was so wrapped up in my debts that the thought of leaving the company never crossed my mind. And one of the best things to happen to me was also when that company let me go. Now, it wasn't just me. It was a huge string of layoffs. Everyone in the company on every shift that had my position got cut from the company, and our position, our job was sent offshore. They subjugated or replaced us with virtual workers from overseas, specifically Indian call centers and such, for an engineering position, which kind of blew my mind, where we had to be hands-on with some of the equipment. And not my call, neither here nor there, but that did happen. But that's really when I started discovering this again, was when I started uploading again more frequently, specifically with like the AA and all that stuff. That was during that period of time where I got laid off from that company. And since then, I was fortunate enough to land a job at Porsche, and that's what I've been up to recently. I was a mental basket case working that job, and it really messed with me. Not Porsche, the tech company, I should specify. To all you kids, I'm not trying to, crush your dreams or anything. If you want to do tech and that's like your, that gets you out of the bed in the morning and you just live, breathe, eat, and sleep technology, science. I was that kid once. But just know this, is that your interests, your life goals change and mature from year to year, and don't be afraid to go along with that change. I was stubborn, and I was starting to lose my interest in tech halfway through school, but I was afraid of change, and I didn't want to go into something different thinking, no, I should really stay, I should stick with this. No. When I started the job at Porsche, I realized to myself that, wow, it's not as glamorous as the tech job I had, but it's something I care a lot more about, and my work now reflects it. I probably can comfortably say that in the Northeast area, I'm one of the highest performing. A lot of ducks here, as you can see by the pond. Cool spot, though. I'm one of the highest performing people in my position in the Northeast, which is really cool to say. And yeah, I plan to stick with them while I'm doing all this YouTube stuff, and I've been with them now almost 2 years, maybe 2 years in March, April, and I noticed, an increase in my mental, physical health. I wasn't depressed all the time anymore. I could sleep better. I was eating better. I work normal hours for once. And the people that I work with are great. They're not backstabbing. They're not trying to plot and scheme how to take you down to get a promotion or any of that nonsense. And this isn't an advertisement for the car business either. Get into that if you want. If not, understandable. But for me, it niched with just being able to socialize with everyone. And I felt like that wasn't really a thing in the tech business. I was stuck in a cubicle, stuck at my desk, no talking to anyone except for like the beginning meetings. It's nasty. But yeah, to anyone out there that is, afraid of change, or they're scared of the uncertainty of leaving something that they've been at for a while, a lot of people will say, yeah, just leave and figure it out along the way. I wouldn't do that. Come up with a baseline plan of some kind. I kind of had to scramble and figure something out, and it ended up working out, but realistically you want to go into it with some type of game plan, at least a vague outline of where you want to go, just so that you can better realize your potential and what you can actually achieve. You can shoot for the moon, but you gotta learn how to build that rocket first, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta have an outline of how to get where you want, and don't be super focused on the long-term goal and create little short-term ones. But yeah, just know, if you were in that spot I was, tech industry, just slaving away at the desk, things can be better, things will be better, and yeah, I just figured I'd share my little story. Another thing I wanted to just quickly touch on is the future of this channel. So I still plan on doing a lot of car stuff in the interim. Obviously, as you can see out, it's pretty cold. We're in the middle of upstate New York winter here in January. Got a lot more stuff I want to show you, specifically with this GTI here. I haven't shown much of it, or really any of it on this channel. Few more updates. I did end up selling the A8. That car, it was great to me, but just the interior, as you guys remember from that video, it really was starting to get to me, and it was just so uncomfortable. The seats it rode amazingly, but yeah, I couldn't put up with that anymore. So I got this. As I told you, I work for Porsche. This was one of the cars we took in on trade. I sold the Audi and picked this up. It's great, honestly. It's got quite a bit done to it. It had really low miles. I think it had 16,000 miles when I picked it up, so that was quite a swap for me. I do have my Saab, but that's in storage right now, and I'm not pulling it out in this weather. After all the stuff I've done to it, I'll do a little breakdown of the entirety of things that I've done to that. But I have put a lot of time into that car, and I don't want to have any of my work get ruined over salt and all this nonsense here. But yeah, I still want to do a whole video on this car. I haven't really shown it off anywhere. Saab videos to come back when I start doing some more things to that. Introduce you guys to that whole build with the Vigan and everything. Catch you up to speed on it. Bring the motorcycle out as well. Do a couple POVs and just shenanigans. I really want to interact with the community more. I really like that aspect of YouTube. Engaging with your audience, I feel like is such a special thing. And over the 15 years I've been on YouTube now, I haven't really gotten the chance to interact with the audience a lot. I would just post something and then let it sit. I really do look at my channel as kind of like a video diary of my life, and you guys are really, I want you to be a part of it too. I want to have an impact on your life, but not only have you guys have an impact on mine. And yeah, I feel like we can go great places together. All right, that's enough yapping from me. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.